microphone. There we go. And at this time, we'd ask Alderman Dickman to lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge my allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It was nice hearing all of you join us. That was very good. At this time, we're going to have a moment of silence, and I had an opportunity to be at the Mayor's Hunger Luncheon today, and we're in the process of preparing for Thanksgiving next week. I think it's important that we keep balance between the fact of give Thanksgiving for all the gifts and opportunities of family you've provided us, but remember there's a lot of people that are struggling and that need support as well at the same time. And that's give us Thanksgiving to find ways that we can be helpful to others in our community that need that assistance. So with that, a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. Jackie, would you please call the roll?
Ambrose.
Here.
Condon.
Here.
Rawson.
Here.
Dickman. Here. Mattson.
Here.
Grip.
Here.
McGinnis.
Here.
Kluel. Tompkins. And Dunn.
Here.
8 present, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. And as you probably heard, we have one of our council members, Marion McGinnis, our third ward alderman, is calling in tonight, and we have 2 that are sick or out of town. So with that, I want to, again, wish you a good evening. And as we begin the meeting of the City Council, I would again like to welcome all those in attendance and also those who are viewing the meeting on television or on the internet. We respectfully welcome your comments and opinions, and please keep in mind that as you talk to the council, you're also sharing your thoughts with fellow Davenporters and with viewers throughout the region by way of our TV broadcast. We are happy that you're participating in your city government and ask that your participation reflect the common desire we all share to make Davenport an even greater place for all of our citizens. For the children, adults, seniors, and families in our community, those in attendance and those watching at home, I thank you for joining us. At this time, we ask that you turn off or silence your cell phones and other electronic handheld devices, as they can be disruptive and interfere with the audio system here in the chambers. If you wish to address the council on a specific item on a discussion agenda, you are encouraged to do so during that discussion item. You will also have an opportunity to address the City Council under Public with Business portion of the meeting, which will occur towards the end. When addressing the council, I ask that you step to the podium, wait to be recognized by myself, and speak to the council as a body and not to any single member. We will ask that you limit your remarks to no more than 5 minutes, and I ask that everyone observe, and I know you all will, the commonly accepted rules of courtesy, decorum, dignity, and good taste. So again, welcome this evening. Will an alderman move the approval of the City Council meeting minutes for October 24th? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Great, thank you. That is approved. Also, is there a city administrator update this evening?
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
Thank you, our city administrator. Will an alderman move approval of the report of the committee of the whole for November 7th? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. That is approved. So there's a lot of young people here, and I'm not going into a lot of details that some people ask me not to do. But we just had a meeting a couple of weeks ago. We approved the minutes of that, everything that went on in that meeting, and we approved those. Last week, we had a committee of the whole where all the items you'll see on your agenda were discussed individually. And some of those have said we had a discussion and now we're going to move those forward, and you'll hear later in the meeting a consent agenda, meaning all the items we talked about last week will be approved in one group. So this may be shorter. It was shorter than the one last week, maybe, but I think that's important for you to understand how this works. We have a couple of appointments tonight and 2 proclamations for the evening. First, we have an appointment for the Citizens Advisory Committee. Chris Miller fills a 5th Ward vacancy. I don't know if Chris happens to be here. Not, but we want to welcome her and thank all those that are serving on various boards, commissions, and committees. We have a proclamation this evening, our Small Business Saturday, and Alderman Grip is going to read that proclamation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
As the Community Development Chair, but also as someone whose family has owned a small business in Davenport since the 1950s, it's my pleasure to read this proclamation this evening for Small Business Saturday. The proclamation reads as follows. The City of Davenport, Iowa celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. We recognize the jobs they create, the sales that boost our local economy, and their dedication to the preservation of our communities. Whereas, according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are currently 30.2 million small businesses in the United States, which represent 99.7% of all businesses with employees in the United States, and are responsible for 65.9% of net jobs created from 2000 to 2017. And also, small businesses employ 47% of the employees in the private sector in the United States. Whereas 90% of consumers in the United States say Small Business Saturday has had a positive impact on their community, and 89% of consumers who are aware of Small Business Saturday said the day encourages them to shop small all year long. Whereas the most reported reason for consumers to shop and dine at small, independently owned businesses was to support their community. Whereas advocacy groups as well as public and private organizations across the country have endorsed this Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now therefore, we, Frank Klipsch, Mayor of the City of Davenport and the Davenport City Council, do hereby proclaim November 24th, 2018 as Small Business Saturday and urge the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. Dated this 14th day of November 2018. I move the proclamation.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. I think Paul Rumler, is Paul here? There he is. Paul Rumler is going to accept, and I'll come out and make the presentation. This is Paul Rumler, the CEO of the Quad Cities Chamber, and we're delighted you're here. I just wanted to note as well that last year, by the Iowa Small Business Administration, we won the City of the Year related to support a small business, so this is really exciting to be able to prevent this. So, Paul, thank you very much, and maybe a few words if you'd like.
Oh, terrific. Thank you. I'll be short. So on behalf of the Quad Cities Chamber, we have 1,700 members. Over 80% have less than 50 employees, so we're comprised of small businesses, and thank you for recognizing the contributions that small businesses make to our Quad Cities region and the city of Davenport. As you said, everything in this proclamation rings true. We need to do everything we can to support the backbone of our region's economy, and it's being done through your support for small business. So thank you very much. I'll share this news with our members.
Thank you very much, Paul. Thank you very much. Give him a nice round of applause. Just as a note, an additional item, and we'll be doing it at our next meeting, at the end of the next cycle, we'll be presenting, regularly we provide a brick award that's the foundation of our community to small and local businesses. So it's on that theme that we continue to support those organizations in our city. One item that I wanted to follow up on the appointment with the Citizens Advisory Committee, is there a motion for that, the approval of that appointment? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. I think what I'm going to do for this next group, our next group is the presentation for the Halloween Parade trophy presentations. I'm just going to come out in front and do those out there. It'll be easier than going back and forth each time. So I think we're going to do, we'll have individuals come up and we'll bring we have our photographer here. So we'll make the presentation of these various awards and then get some pictures taken. And we got to also recommend or recognize Tiffany Thorndike, who really makes all this happen. She put our whole parade together, so thank you. There was a total of 56 entries, and we're going to give everyone, no, that's not true. But our city departments involved, Public Works, Parks and Recreation, Library, Police, Fire, all were involved. I had the honor of being the Grand Marshal of the parade, and that was really exciting to see all the kids and all the families that were there. We had a great turnout that day. Alderman Grip and Alderman Dunn and their families walked in the parade and helped distribute the candy to kids, and understood they couldn't be throwing it, they had to be handing it to them, so that was good. Alderman Rawson, Alderman Klool, and City Administrator Corey Spiegel were our judges for the parade. So we're delighted that all of you were here. Everybody was great, and it was exciting to see everybody there. So let's start, and we're gonna go in a little order, the best costume. And that is Pinkalicious Princess Parties. Are they here? They're out in being Pinkalicious somewhere else tonight, but it's great. We'll make sure we get their trophy to them. The best youth runner-up, Dancer's Place, are they here? No. Okay, well, let's go. I think we've got all the rest of these individuals are here. Our best youth group was Artistic Intensity Dance Company. They're here. Get a nice round of applause. Great work, everybody. Come on this side, too. I'm gonna go over this side. My daughter used to dance here. Congratulations. Let's, you and I get in the middle.
Actually, she's studio owner now.
Let's scoot up a little bit and we'll get in the middle there. There you go, and I'll scoot in there. There we go. Let me shake your hand. Can everybody see everybody? Okay. Got it? Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Great job. Thank you. Our next award will be for Best Commercial Runner-Up, and that's the Elite Trash Can Cleaning Company. They're here, come on up. Thank you, congratulations. So one of the, yeah, you come on this side. Great, thank you. Congratulations. And the best commercial was MS Home Improvement, LLC. Gotta make those home improvements for all these kids, that's great. Cozy in here a little bit, everybody inside?
Let Mike in there.
Yeah, right here, behind you, Scott. Put my dirty clothes.
You wanna hold the trophy? Great, thank you very much. Congratulations. Our best float runner-up is Quad City Area Bicycle Club. Come on up. I kinda hope you're riding up on a bike, but that's okay.
I was thinking of it.
That's good. Congratulations. Let's get Okay, thank you. Congratulations. And the best float, Trophy Shop. Come on up. Did you see their float? That's one of the foxes. They were all trophies. Have you ever seen that? It was really cool.
So the trophy shop.
Trophy shop, yeah, that's right. They were all trophies. And they made the trophies. I mean, hey. Thank you. Best City Department. And I don't think we won that last year. Did we, for Parks and Rec? Fire did, that's right. We have a new director, Chad. Maybe you know, that's good. Is the Davenport Parks and Recreation. Scott Hoku.
Scott Hoku, right?
That's right.
No. They're the brains behind everything.
Got it? A little bit more. last marching unit, North Marine Corps ROTC. Come on up. Yeah, I have to say, Monday we had the Veterans Day Parade, and it was cold. And there's a lot of groups, some of the bands couldn't come, and some of the other school groups. These guys were there and did a phenomenal job marching in that parade. So a double thank you. Here's a trophy for the parade, on this parade, but also a lot of thanks for what you did on Monday as well for our veterans. So thank you. Let's get a picture here. And the last one is the best overall, the Mayor's Trophy to Living Lands and Waters. Thank you. I want to thank you all again for all of your efforts and putting together. And if you'd like, we're going to take a break. If those of you who need to leave, we'll take a minute and let you all go celebrate your trophy wins. Okay, are there any petitions and communication from council members? Any others at this point? Anybody have anything? Yes, Alderman Mattson.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to thank all the city departments, especially the mayor, the police department, our VIPS program members, Public Works for supporting the Veterans Day Parade this Monday. It was real cold, but thanks for all the work they did to continue this great tradition that we have in Davenport. Thank you.
And thank you, Alderman Mattson, for the work you've done to help bring that together, and so thank you for that as well. And also, we have Alderman Ambrose.
Thank you, Your Honor. First off, hey, good job, Mike. You really been a leader in that, along with Tiffany. And Mayor, why don't we remind everybody about Tuesday's council meeting?
Yes, thank you. Next Tuesday will be the council meeting because of the holiday, the impending holiday, and also I will be with family out of town, and Alderman Mattson will be leading that meeting next week. So thank you, Alderman Ambrose, for bringing that up. Next item is, as we mentioned before, the items were all discussed last week, and the items are on the the consent agenda. Is there any, we asked for approval of all the items on the consent agenda. All in, roll call, please.
Grip,
Yes.
McGinnis,
Yes.
Tompkins. Oh, I'm sorry, she's absent. Dunn,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Condon,
Yes.
Rawson,
Yes.
Dickman,
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
8 yeses, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. And now, are there any other ordinances, resolutions, or motions this evening? Seeing none, is there any public with business this evening? If you would, again, identify yourself and your address or ward, please.
Ron Swainer, 2366 West 47th. I'd like to thank Corey for adding $400,000 for our police department, but now I have a challenge for her and you. We've did roundtable discussions, we've done summits. How do you regulate morals and values? We got a long road ahead of us. But there is something, you're right, we can't arrest our way out of this. But we can increase police presence with the NETS program. Maybe think about getting camera readers for license plates so our officers can go after more stolen cars. You know, When I grew up, we were raised by two family. I was lucky. Nowadays, you're lucky if you get one, and that one a lot of times has to work. We got kids on the street with no values, no morals. They've been changed. Our society's changed. Yes, we have to put in some programs with this new thing coming up, but the license plate reader, improving the NETS program, putting a few more officers in, are going to make the kids think twice. We're going to have to show a deterrent, because what we have to do to continue on with what our mayor has started here is not, he's not the magic man. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but you're not. This is something that we as a community must continue and keep fighting for. Getting our department, like the city just approved, better equipment, better abilities, is going to be our first line of defense. So my challenge to you in the city is, well, let's dig deep and see if, we can come up with 400,000. That's a lot of money. And it's going to be a lot of money for the readers and to improve the nets, because we're talking more officers. But that's going to be one of our first steps we're going to have to take as a community, as a city. I want my city back, folks. I want to be able to walk from A to B without worrying some kid in a car is going to run me over, which almost happened a couple times to me. And I know it wasn't their car, not the way they were driving it. I'm afraid we're going to get an officer hurt or a pedestrian killed. We're going to have to initiate something here, and increasing our nets, which is a proven thing we've done. Americana Park, Goose Heights, certain areas over on Heatherton, our mobile police precinct has helped deter some of this. But without the extra presence of our fine Davenport police officers here, unmarked cars, a little more people on patrols, eyes from their squads that read plates to know, hey, this is another stolen, it's going to allow our department here too to send a couple out in undercover, like my mom's neighborhood. They can come in unmarked cars or something we can pull out of impound or whatever, but they can patrol. These guys are coming down the street, no lights. They're having groups check the cars, and then they're coming back, ripping them off. And now they're going into houses too, and that's continuing. It's getting worse. We must put a presence there. We've got to do something immediately here, folks, or it's going to get worse and worse. Our statistics are off the wall. We talk about making this a better community. We talk about taking a skate park, a better parade, honoring our veterans. That's some wonderful things this community has, but the additional parks and other things are festivals to bring people in. They're not going to come in if they don't feel safe. They're not going to come here and get their cars ripped off or not feel safe in our community. We as a community must put our foot down. If it means, I hate to say it, we're going to have to pay a little bit more, or we're going to have to figure out a way to fund this, we're going to do this, folks. It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of control. I want my city back. So my challenge to you is, see what you can do, folks. We talked about the summits and the roundtables, and I've sat and had discussion after discussion with many people. And that's what they're looking for, a little more help for our men in blue, but for the community, be safer for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Seeing no one else, are there any other reports of city officials? Then I would say we are going to move into an executive session. Will an alderman move to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing strategy for upcoming labor negotiations with city's organization employees pursuant to Iowa Code Section 20.17? A motion has been made and seconded. Roll call, please. That's to adjourn to executive session.
McGinnis,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Ambrose, Condon, Rawson, Dickman,
Yes.
Mattson,
Yes.
Grip,
Yes.
8 yeses, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. So this meeting is adjourned to executive session. We will not be coming back into the chambers after that meeting. Thank you very much for coming.